Fight back. There was a time in my life when I was completely and utterly lost. I felt as if I was trapped in a black hole, stuck with my insecurities, doubts, and a vast emptiness in my heart. I've been a Christian my whole life, but like any human being, I hit a few rough patches where I came off the tracks and didn't know how to get back. Now, I want you to be able to empathize with me, so I'm going to ask you to imagine that you went for a swim in the ocean. And you were pretty far out because you were underwater diving. Think about all the beautiful fish and sea creatures you got a chance to see. It was amazing, but as you swam back up to the surface, you felt something pull you down. You didn't know what it was, but it was frightening because you felt so far from where you came from. You fought it and you tried so hard to get back, but that thing holding you back was so strong. You started feeling like this was it, like you wouldn't be able to get back to the surface. You were starting to give up. It just hurt too bad. Your lungs were screaming and your body was shriveling. So you fought back one more time and it finally let you go. You couldn't see where you were headed, but you trusted your instincts and you finally saw the light of the surface. You were so close, seconds away from coming up, and just as your hand reached out, you were yanked down again. For a split second, you felt the joy and peace of being so close to home, and then a rush of darkness came back down on you. I had this terrible thought that I would never get out of the sea, and a fear of drowning that wouldn't let me breathe for 2 years and a half. I don't remember how it happened or when, but I lost sight of who I was. What I know is that even though my experience hurt like hell, I arose like never before. Being consumed by the darkness of my insecurities tore me apart, isolating me from my faith, which frayed anything I ever knew about myself. I can't explain the feeling of not knowing who you are. All I know is that it feels like you're floating in space, all while being sunken down by an immense weight. Living in that feeling was as if everything I ever did was worthless. I couldn't find a purpose behind waking up every morning, but I knew that ending my life couldn't be an option. I had lost myself and the reason behind what I believed, but I still managed to keep a sense of right and wrong. And for me, cutting my life short was not something I could do. All I can truly tell you is that Jesus saved me once, and he managed to do it all over again. I lived confused, but I never gave up on the possibility of seeing the light once again. Therefore, I fought hard. I prayed so much. Many times, I prayed out of anger or in sadness. I continued to go to church even when I didn't feel like it. And I cried at the altar in surrender every Sunday. It was really hard to continue to fight for God even when I didn't fully believe in who he was. I can't even begin to explain the countless times I cried or all the times I simply wanted to throw in the towel and give up. I was so angry and so sad all at once, surrounded by my doubts, with no one to understand me and no one to trust. However, I can't stress how important it is to continue to fight for yourself. Each of us are so important, and we are all worth so much. I know what it's like to be in the battle, drowning in an ocean of pain, feeling like you're fighting alone, overwhelmed with fear. I know that it feels completely impossible, but it's not. Please don't give up. I'm standing here today telling you that I am so glad that I kept fighting even when I felt like I was being torn to shreds. I know you think that this pain is endless, but trust me, there is an end, and it is way better than you can imagine. Pain builds character. Pain makes you who you are, and it makes you stronger, but only if you fight back. Keep your head up and look up to the heavens because that is where your help comes from. Don't stop fighting. You are not alone, and you have an incredible purpose, so stick around and see what's in store for you. I promise it's worth it. The decision is yours. Will you dwell in your pain or see the amazing things you were created to do? Romans 8:18 says, "Yet what we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory he will reveal to us later."